What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tul World, where we talk everything about Taekwondo. You're listening to our podcast or our Facebook video. And don't forget to make sure to check out our Tul World Plus program, And don't forget to check out our Tul World Plus program, where we dissect techniques, stances, stepping, and patterns in more detail.
Oh, that's right. I think this next week we're covering the next part of Gwange.
Right. And so that first part is out for everybody to see it, so check it out on our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about pattern diagrams. We have this book here, From Creation to Unification, the complete history behind the ITF patterns, and this is by Stuart Anslow. We've talked about this book before.
Doesn't everyone have one?
This one?
Yeah.
Do they?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know where we got this, actually.
I think I bought it.
Yeah.
So I'll just let you have it.
Thanks. We've talked about some of the pattern meanings or pattern histories before, because he obviously did a little more research than us, and a little more research than what is just the brief statement in the encyclopedia.
Well, there's a lot of information.
Right.
And, just the encyclopedia is a lot of work. And to try to learn that and then go on top of that, add more information. And that's awesome. I think that's great. People should do that. Learn a little bit more.
Right. So today we're going to be talking about the pattern diagrams and do they matter? Now, the pattern diagrams really have just, the symbolization kind of just flew over my head until now.
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
I believe. But, I think the first thing we got to learn is the directions. So the directions, basic directions, is A is to your right, B is to your left, C is behind you, and D is directly in front of you. And if you look at it, the directions are usually for the instructor. So if you look at the encyclopedia, or if you have some kind of little manual you can look at, the instructor could look at it and go, move to A, which actually is to his left, but it would be to your right, and so forth. And so when you're looking at it and you're reading those directions, you just have to realize from what point of view it's going to, right? So from a practitioner, a person that is A is to the right, B is to the left, C is behind them, and D is directly to the front.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some pattern diagrams and tell you the meaning, and tell me if this is first time hearing it or what's your thoughts about it. Alright, Gwange. The diagram represents the expansion and recovery of lost territory.
Yeah, so Gwange is it's like a cross sign on top of a little bit longer line.
Big expansion there, huh?
Big expansion there. Well, it's just kind of interesting because some of these diagrams are similar, but they mean different. And I think it really is related to the person that it's named after, right? So let's go over another one, such as maybe Eam, and there's another one that's very similar to Eam, right? Gaebek.
Well, Gaebek
is a straight line.
The diagram represents his severe and strict military discipline.
Strict.
But then you have Eam, which is also a straight line, and the diagram represents his indomitable spirit, displayed while dedicating himself to the prosperity of his nation.
Right. So is there a correlation between the pattern diagram and is there a meaning to it? I'm not sure. I think it's really related more towards that individual, right?
Right.
Is it important? Are the pattern diagrams important? It keeps you in line. I mean, that if I'm an umpire and I'm looking at a pattern and that person's like all over the place,
right,
he's going to lose some kind of deduction point. And the reason why is it that they're moving around like that? It probably has to do with their stances.
Yeah.
Right. L stance is too short, too long, too wide, whatever. Walking stance, too long, too short, too wide. And so that's going to veer them off. You see a lot of that in new first stance when you're doing Gwange. You ever notice that? Gwange.
Gwange.
Oh, Gaebek. Yes,
Gaebek.
sorry. Gaebek, because that is a straight line. And you'll see that you'll see a lot of students kind of veer off, way off to the side of that line. Yes, you do. It's not like you're actually on the line because you're going to be working along the side of the line. Sometimes it's on the line, sometimes it's just off the line. But the basic concept and all patterns must come back to where it started.
Right. So what do you think came first, the pattern diagram or the pattern itself? This is not a right. There's no right or wrong answer. We don't know. But what do you think the thought process is?
Well, that's
Well, so, like-
I think that's kind of like which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, kind of, yeah. But so, what do you think was the planning process?
Ooh, I mean, that's something that General Che is the one that developed.
I know.
That, right?
It's as an opinion. What do you think?
Well, my opinion, boy, I think the pattern diagram is a result of the techniques and as he put them together. That's my thinking on it. I think he developed patterns based on what techniques we want to practice, and then figuring out, it might have happened at the same time. I want to start here, I'm going to do these movements, I got to come back here. Which movements are they? Which movements should I include so that I can come back to the same spot? And again, if you're doing the techniques correctly, or the stances, I should say, then you will create this kind of pattern diagram.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? I mean, you put me on the spot. What do you think?
I think the diagram came first.
You think that? Okay.
So
okay, why?
I think if you look at like how we move, so you have A, B, C, D, and E, and F, right? And if you ever look at like WT forms or Pumse's, they actually follow the same thing. They have 3 lines across and then a line down the center. And so I think those are just the basic ways of moving. And then obviously you have, so you start your person in the middle and you say, I want to move him this way. And I then work my way through. And so the pattern diagrams are actually just sections of that basic line formation to create.
And so so what you're saying is that the diagram was created, and then you use different techniques to fit that diagram.
Right. I mean, because you could put a scholar sign there. You can have your little doohickeys
at the bottom.
At the bottom, so going to the side, you have your straight line, Tege, right? Or you have your horizontal line, right? So I think if you look at that's your basic guideline, and you have like a master kind of feet diagram first, and then you fill it in.
Okay, that's a possibility. Yeah,
possibility.
I mean,
or maybe you get
actually never. No one's ever brought that up. I've never actually talked about that. Why? Which one came first?
Yeah, I don't know. I was
the
just
chicken
thinking
or
that.
the egg?
Well, you could have had like a circular pattern, like you know, some martial arts do, right? They go circle. Or I'm just thinking about Avatar, The Last Airbender. They have a little dragon dance in a circle.
Ah,
So could have had that.
could have had that. That could have been the unification.
That could. Oh, that's kind of weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
All right. Anything else on the pattern diagrams?
No, it's really interesting. The pattern diagram. I would just say continue to work on those stances. Make sure their stances are correct. And if those are correct, then your pattern diagram's probably going to be right on.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you think. Which one came first? The diagram or the pattern? Let us know.
Or if you want to discuss which one came first, the chicken or the egg.
You could also send us a message about that too. But thanks for jumping in. We have a situational awareness seminar coming up soon. That's on May 22nd. Check it out on our website, jewstkd.com/events. We're going to be discussing lots of things to help you better prepare for anything. Don't forget to be safe.
Keep training.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Taekwon.